Hello, everyone. My name is Federico Tozzi. I am the Executive Director of the Italy America Chamber of Commerce, and I want to welcome all of you today at this town hall meeting. This is a new format. It's a way for us to hear from you. And it's also a way of presenting the organization with in a different way, if you want. Today, I'm very pleased to have three friends and members of our organization that have been members for many years, and we asked them if they were interested in giving their feedback, their honest feedback of what the organization, what the chamber has brought to their businesses, and how we were able to help them in expanding their network, in growing their business, and gain more visibility in the US and especially in New York metropolitan area. I think it's very important for all our members to understand that the chamber, it's you. We always use this word, and you've been dealing with Alicia Biagini, my colleague and my deputy. She's been working with us for many years. She's the point of contact for the membership. So and she and I, we both share a vision. The chamber is mainly a community, and one of the areas where we are particularly focusing our effort is to develop this community to make sure that our membership base grows. We stay relevant for you. So what we do is something that has to have an interest on your side. And we want to be useful. We want to be useful. We want to be able to, create networking opportunities, expand your business, increase your knowledge of what's going on in US and especially New York metropolitan area. And we want to serve as a connecting, element, a connecting, point for all the businesses comes in from Italy and from Italy to United States. If you visit our website, you will see that we have a tagline that says "Connecting Italy to the US since 1887." And this gives you the opportunity to talk a little bit about, what the chamber does. I'm sure that, among all the friends that are joining us today, we have, members that know exactly what we do. But the chamber has been changing a lot during the years. The organization started in 1887. We are the oldest chamber of commerce in the United States, the oldest binational chamber of commerce in the United States, and one of the oldest Italian chamber of commerce in the world. There are just few other chambers in South America that are just a little bit older than us. Some of you might be familiar that there are other, Italian Chamber of Commerce in the US. And let me give you a little information here. The only one that was an independent chamber was the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Chicago, which was founded in 1902. We were the first, and we also were responsible to set up all the offices in Miami, in Houston, in Los Angeles. And probably, I don't know how many of you remember, but the chamber used to have also offices in Philadelphia, in Pittsburgh, and in Boston for a while. Unfortunately, we were not lucky in developing those offices more. Sometimes you don't have the traction locally, and you don't find the right people that can make those offices independent. But we are still working on that. We are also responsible. We are part of an association in Italy called Asso Camere Estero, which is the association of the Italian Chamber of Commerce around the world. So there is a big network of independent, binational, Italian and local Chamber of Commerce around the world, 85 to be precise. So, and this is a great value for you as well, because don't forget that although we can be your point of contact for whatever happens in Italy, we can also be your conduit to do business in other countries where our sister chambers are located. So don't be shy. Feel free to reach out to us. 85 offices. It's an extensive network from Costa Rica to Argentina to Sweden, to Greece, to the Philippines, to China, to Australia. So the network of the Italian Chamber of Commerce around the world is very, very extensive. The chamber, as I said before, has changed a lot. We have one of the youngest membership base. I've been working with the organization since 1997, so I spent half of my life basically, working for the IACC, and I've seen the organization change a lot during the year. But we have new members. We do different things. We didn't stay with the past. We changed. I think myself, Alice, and all my colleagues now are working in a much more dynamic and environment. I think we are more and more relevant for you than what we used to be. We were not afraid of adapting formats, initiatives, events to make them more engaging, more useful for you. And I think more than ever, we are really listening to you. So feel free to always reach out to us, to myself, to Alice, to whoever works with us. We have a great team, and we will continue to support you with our efforts. What we do, I mean, the chamber basically does as a series of we are organized as a company. We are an association, so for us, clearly the membership base it's a key aspect. But the chamber doesn't do only membership. We have basically a values unit. The membership is the primary one, and we put a lot of emphasis on that, because without the members, we will not be an association. We will be something else. And we think that our greatest value is in the members and your expertise and your knowledge of this country. Sometimes when I'm called to give my contribution to seminars, conferences, and I sit there together with colleagues from the Italian consulate, from the Italian trade agency, I always point out a very important aspect, which is we are the only one that actually brings together the business, the members, companies. Everyone else is just like somebody that comes from Italy, might do a wonderful job, but doesn't have this extensive network, doesn't have this extensive knowledge, not just in himself or in herself, but through you and through your years and years and decades of experience that you have developed in this country. So members is very important, membership is very important, but we also do other things that are strictly connected with the membership, but they involve different areas. Another important areas is the J1. The IACC is a J1 visa sponsors. We acquired that designation many years ago, in 2001 to be precise. We have still a limited allocation of forms that can be processed every year. But I'm happy to report that we were able to expand the designation. So now we go from management to STEM to hospitality. And we also been given an increase in form to process. I think having somebody with a J1 visa program in your company could be extremely valuable. Ourselves, we use that, but you have seen many of our members doing the same. And it's a wonderful way of training potential employees, especially in companies that have a direct relationship with Italy. Sometimes having Italian personnel in your company in the United States helps them to understand better the nature of the business and the requirements. So this exchange really works extremely well. So we encourage you to take part in this process, in this program. We have a new person working. She has a lot of experience. Her name is Erika Rodas. She used to be assistant director of this program with the French-American Chamber of Commerce, and I'm very confident that she's going to really do a wonderful job in assisting you if you decide to use the program yourself. The other area are, we do a lot of events. We do content-related events. We think that, to be relevant in this country is also important to discuss about the main trends, what is happening, how businesses develop. We want to serve as some sort of a think tank for you to develop new ideas and learn more about the businesses that are part of the Made in Italy. And we believe that those topics are as relevant for you. An example of this is the Luxury Summit. I know that some of you take active part in that, both as a participant, as a guest, or speakers, or even sponsors, and we are particularly grateful for your support on that as well. The Chamber organizes over 50 events a year. So the networking part of our organization, I believe it's one of the most complete and most effective among all the other similar organizations in New York metro area. I receive compliment from national organization, as you know, by following our social media, that in which, by the way, we have over 12,000, almost 13,000 followers on LinkedIn, which also gives us a perspective of the reach in terms of communication and visibility that we can offer you. So when we feature a member on the Member Monday section, this is a post that is seen by over 13,000 people. We are among all the other chambers the one that has by far the largest presence on the social media and social media channel. And I think we do an extremely well done job. And also thanks to Alice, that was instrumental in building this presence. We do a lot of events, and some of you participate, some of you don't. I encourage everyone to be more active, to be there. Some of these events are fun, and some other. I think all other events that we do are pretty fun. They are held in wonderful locations. Showroom of our members, Special Club, Spring Place is one of our partners that we've been working and partnering with since a couple of years ago, and it's the place that also hosts our annual gala, which is always extremely well attended, and once again, thanks to you for being so supportive on that. But I ask you to participate in those events because that's the way you live the organization. You breathe what we do. You are part of our soul, basically. So it is important for you to be part of that and to come to those initiatives regularly, because every time we make an effort, even with specific formats, such as the one bring a member or a potential member, in which we encourage existing member to spread the word and try to recruit other business contacts that they may be interested in benefiting from joining our organization. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I would like to give the floor now to the three guests that we have today. All of them, they are not just members, they're also friends. We look at you not simply as a business contact, but also we look at you as with friendship. You're part of a community that we feel very much our community. So I would like to start with Carl Mazzanti. Carl has been a member for 7 years, and I would like him to tell us a little bit about himself, what he does. And Carl has been particularly active in sending news on what he does, hosting seminars, webinar, getting involved in many of our initiatives. So Carl, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you are interacting with the chamber and how we benefit you if we did.
Thank you, Federico, so much for having me today. I put some supporting slides together. I'm going to pull them up in a second. But outside of some of the things I'm going to talk about today, we've been using the J1 program, and we have offices in Milan and staff that work for us in Rome. The IACC has been great with us to connect us in some of the other regions that, while we didn't have many staff there, they were great with connecting us with customers and opening up the market. So it's done great things for us. And on the J1 program, we have multiple staff that have joined us through that. So it's great. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So the item saying, I made here is we've been an active member, and I can't even believe how fast the time's gone by, because it says 5 years, but it's already been 7, which is awesome. Quick little overview about eMizanti, and I kind of throw this slide up all the time because people on can read, and I'm going to talk to the stuff that's not on the slides, is bringing some of the value. But you know, 4-time partner of the year, been super loyal. My son's middle name is Gates, so we do a few things. We do those very, very well. In 2017, I wanted a customer from every Italian major city, and I went all over Italy, addressing some of the customers that had operations here in the United States, whether it was marketing and sales department or it was logistics. Number of manufacturers, law firms, accounting, and I'll show some logos in a little bit. We've been very loyal for a long time, and the things that we do, I like to think that we're the best. So why'd we join the Italy American Chamber of Commerce? The membership is amazing. Of all of the chambers we belong to, which is 14 plus here in the United States, the Italy American Chamber of Commerce is by far the best. The items that we get out of the chamber that I put 4 listed out there that are really helpful. So Federico had said a few minutes ago that we've been active in, at the events. We've been active at meeting others inside of the chamber. We've been active about putting our communications in the newsletters. We've been active with putting our materials in on the chamber's website, sponsoring events, and it's been really easy to connect with the staff. Like Federico said it some time ago, we're friends, almost family at this point. A lot of the IACC are local to New York City or the New York metropolitan area, and it's kind of neat with something like 28 million people that live in with a 2-mile radius of New York. I mean, if you look at that density, to give that in contrast, it's the entire population of Canada, and it's a little over half of the entire Italian population in all of Italy, is within 2-hour radius of where our offices here are in New York City. So it's just such a big market. It's such a big market for both of us. So let's talk about achieving some of the goals. I put some pictures there. Federico talked about the J1 program. My organization had 6 or 7 members cycle through for Erasmus. That was a program with the European Union to bring entrepreneurs here. It helped us kick off initiatives and well, maybe we're not supposed to do this, but we hired the talent. So we have native speakers that speak Italian, and it's been quite beneficial for both of us. But tight relationships, finding great staff for the organization, and most certainly the customers over that time has been beneficial for both organizations. This value proposition out of the audiences, I'm not sure I'm communicating it so well, but the fact that it's such a diverse community, like you can have a place that has 5,000 sites, or you can have a hair barber that's got 1 location in the United States and pull some product from Italy. The membership is quite diverse. A pasta company that has 5 employees but moves $20 million worth of pasta from Italy to the United States. I mean, it's just it's very diverse when you're sitting inside of that room. Let me show some of the logos here. So Santa Maria Novella on the top left corner was one of the first customers we ever signed up. It was great to go to Florence. I put my kids on a tractor and I said, hey kids, I'm going to take you on a Lamborghini, but the Lamborghini they were on was a Lamborghini tractor, not the car, but it was fun. It was fun to do that. Lago cookies. Sometimes they pay me in cookies. It's really fun. They're just a good group. Manufacturing is in Italy, and the cookies come to the East Coast here in containers and they get distributed out. With Santa Maria Novello, the way they expanded here in the United States is they had a marketing partner open up the 5 locations, and then they repatriated the brand to the parent organization. And my firm helped with the point of sale deployment, opening up bank accounts, so many things that you would think would be outside of your IT service provider, but we're a trusted advisor. Generali has been a customer now for 17 years. While you think of the 70,000 employees they have, the reality is they have a U.S. operations with just hundreds of people, and we support those hundreds of people here in America. Giuseppe Zanotti is the stylized logo, shoe manufacturing, and then most certainly Calcedonia with the stores and Intimacy, their one of their brands. And I could keep going through the different ones, but I give those as just some examples of a customer who comes in and wants to expand in the United States, to Generali, who found us because we were such a good Microsoft partner. Okay, which is kind of some of those bullet points there. We've been the trusted partner for a long time, and then we service small businesses. And for those small businesses, we meet them through the IACC, so the Italy American Chamber of Commerce, and then we build upon that culture. I want to be conscious of the time. I'm a huge raving fan, and I appreciate those that have joined for today. And really, I'm hoping you can join the Chamber of Commerce. If you are already a member, here's my contact details. Reach out at any moment. I'm always making myself available. My only request is that there's legs underneath the table and a proper cappuccino for us to enjoy, and we're going to make some really good things happen. At that, I'd like to turn it back to Federico and some of our other chamber members. Federico.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you for your nice and kind words for us. We really appreciate your support. Now, I want to give the floor to Eugenio. Eugenio is a friend. We live, fairly close in Connecticut, and I had the pleasure to meet him 4 years ago to our president Alberto Milani and another board member Cristiano Villani, who is the CEO for me in United States. So since then we've been friends, but he also been member of the chamber, and with an organization in this case more than a company. He represents the Consorzio del Parmigiano Reggiano here in the US. I think the consortium did a wonderful job hiring a seasoned executive like Eugenio, because I can really see the difference it has made, not just in the relationship with organization like ours, but in the effectiveness of how such important organization like the consortium operates and in the US. Eugenio, back to you. So I'm gonna let you speak.
Grazie Federico, and thank you for the introduction and for having me here this morning. And thank you very much everyone for your attention here. So as Federico was saying, I have the responsibility for the Consorzio del Parmigiano Reggiano operations here in the US, and I've been doing this for about 4 years. I mean, actually, since the very beginning of my relationship with the Consorzio, I mean, fairly soon we became members of the Italo-American Chamber of Commerce. And one of the key reasons why I thought that was an important connection to have is that although the Parmigiano Reggiano is very well known, it's present and has been present in the US supermarkets and stores for many years and decades, there was a realization that we were missing a clear connection with the fabric of the business community in the area where we operate. And so the drive and the key motivation was really to, becoming part of a community of like-minded leaders, like-minded business people that are committed to fostering the Italian excellencies in the US, which we think we represent one of the most tangible and tasty examples. So that was really, what drove this idea to become member. And in fact, we became a senior sustainable member basically from the onset, because we really wanted to commit, and we really wanted to be part of this organization. I mean, obviously, this membership has really helped us so far in achieving what we are achieving, in becoming more visible, in becoming more connected, and also in creating a fruitful partnership, both with other Italian companies, but also with the American business operators. Federico, during his introduction, was talking about the networking role that the Chamber of Commerce creates and the Chamber of Commerce plays. Obviously, the networking opportunities are an extremely important benefit that we receive from this type of membership. I mean, from one side, this networking opportunity gives us the chance to meet one-on-one and to, mingle with fellow Italians in the New York area. But on the other hand, these are connections that really create the opportunity to operate and to discuss business with leading American industry organization. I mean, the one that comes to my mind for the job that Federico and this team have been doing and that we have been able to enjoy is the relationship with the National Grocer Association. I mean, the National Grocer Association is a huge organization. It represents more than 30,000 grocery stores across the United States. These are the grocery stores that are owned by the independent grocers. And, within these independent grocers owners, you have some that own just a handful of stores and some others that owns hundreds of these stores. No matter what, they are making a big business. They are developing a big business. So for a company like ours, it's important to create connections and to establish relationship with this type of people, with this type of business leaders, have the opportunity to tell more about what we do as a consortium, tell more about what differentiates Parmigiano Reggiano from other similar sounding products, tell more about our goals and objectives in the US business. And so these are really connections that are extremely important for us as we move forward with our business and with our activities. Then, beside that, I think it's also very important the role that the consortium plays in making sure that when we have a need or when we need to connect with some other companies and some other organizations, they can provide some type of bespoke introduction. So, for example, I want to make reference to the fact that a couple of years ago, we were running a marketing program. This marketing program was called the Parmigiano Reggiano Design Challenge. We wanted to become a reference of not just Italian food, we wanted to become a reference of Italian culture. And by doing that, and to do that, we wanted to be seen also as, not just a provider of food, but part of the Italian excellencies. And design, we identify design as one of the ways that, as Italians, we express our culture, our style, our taste, which is so important for us. But we needed to have some type of credibility. So we needed to have partners that could provide some credibility. And so through the chamber, we were able to create and to get connected, to create very strong relationship with companies of the like of Cartel and Alessi, with which we have had the opportunity to develop this program and to deploy this program successfully in the market and in New York. So this is really important for us, and it's really been helpful in progressing our type of activities. Another example that goes back to what I was mentioning before is the work that the chamber has been doing in coordinating the activities of what we call a collective of Italian food companies that operate here in the US. And with this collective, we have presented at the NGA show, which is the annual event and show that attract all the members of the National Grocer Association that I mentioned before. We've been doing this for a couple of years. Last year was the first year, and we were starting to learn and to understand how to better operate in that type of environment. We've been repeating it this year with even better results, and we are already planning for our participation in 2025. Now, by doing all of this, we are actually becoming part of the fabric of that event. We are becoming one of the key actors that are seen, expected, and sought after by the companies that are participating at this event. Honestly, all of this would have not been possible if it wasn't for the work that the chamber put down to create a very strong strategic partnership with NGA, and then to foster this partnership and to create the condition for us to operate in those situations. So, as you have seen from this short description, there are a number of benefits. I mean, very different from the benefits that Carl was representing before, because the needs of our organizations are different. But I think there are a number of very important benefits that really help us to achieve and to accomplish our business goal and our business objective. So thank you for the work that Federico, you and your team do, on a daily basis, and for being such an important anchor of the Italian business community here in New York.
Thank you very much, Eugenio. We really appreciate it. And I think it was very helpful for our friends that are listening to us to have a completely different, perspective, because there was one area that I didn't touch too much when I was making my presentation. And thanks to you, now I think we gave them also an overview of more on the business services that the chamber provides. So great point. And now, the last one, Serge Sondak. I have here, Serge joins the chamber, relatively recent, I should say. It's 6 years, but in reality, Serge and I, we know each other since 1997, because when I met him the first time, he was already a member at that point with a bank, a famous Italian bank, Montepaschi di Siena. He was the number 2 at the bank, and then he had a wonderful career. And every time he changed, organization, he joined us with the new one. I remember when he was a CEO and a general manager of Banque Nationale du Canada, made that bank to join us. Also, when he was with IDB Bank, an Israeli bank, the bank joined us as well. And now with his own consultancy, Glorian Consulting, is he also, part of our organization. So thank you very much, Serge. So I will let you speak.
Thank you.
You are probably, the perfect connection between the old model of the organization and the new one. So you are one of the members, with the longest longevity, I would say.
Thank you, Federico. And it's a pleasure. Aside from my long-standing friendship and relationship with Federico, my relationship with the chamber, actually, as Federico knows, actually goes back to 1988. Okay, early in my career, I started my corporate banking career in 1988 with an Italian bank here in New York. At the time, it was Banco di Napoli. Now it's been acquired by Banca Intesa. So in 1988, I had my first membership and first commitment and relationship with them, because I was also head of the Italian desk for the bank here in New York. So my survival, if you would, also depended on my ability to develop relationships with US companies that were here in the US that had trade with Italy or were subsidiaries of Italian companies. So I depended on the chamber back then, and they were instrumental also in helping me and always continue to build my network with US companies that were also members of the chamber. So my relationship really dates back to that period of time. So if my math is correct, Federico, it's over 36 years that I have been either a member and constantly involved with the chamber. And it's a relationship that is, very important to me. It's very dear to my heart, but also it's very strategic to not just my banking career, but also my existing business. So I cannot say enough in words how the chamber has been important to me, how it helped me build out my business, especially in the early years when I was building out relationships with, these companies that were Italian related companies that had trade with Italy, business with Italy. So I can say easily that from my years at Banco di Napoli, Banca Nazionale dell'Agricoltura, where I still had responsibility for the Italian desk. And then in 1994, when I was head of corporate banking and head of financial institutions and deputy general manager of Monte dei Paschi di Siena, third largest bank in Italy, I always kept my relationship and depended on my strategic relationship with the chamber. So my career and my success has always involved the Italy America Chamber of Commerce. They have been a great partner. They continue to be a great partner. I started my personal business about 6 years ago with Glorin Consulting. And the first thing I did was become senior sustaining member of the Italy America Chamber of Commerce to show my commitment, but my gratitude for the longstanding relationship and support that they have given me over all these years. So I am more than happy to give this testimonial. I think the chamber has always been very good at connecting people. They do wonderful events that in some cases, as the chamber knows, I've even served as panelist or moderator or helped develop the panel discussion, given my 23 years of senior management banking experience here in the United States. So it's a great partner. Certainly the friendship and relationships with both Federico and Alice and Roberto is always something that I value as well. But I think they do a wonderful job in connecting people and helping you grow your business and making new connections and finding, new content, new ideas, being up to date on trends. They offer panel discussions on cryptocurrency or banking or financial markets or industry related sectors that I enjoy. So it's been, it's certainly a relationship that I value. And I think, Federico, I can say on a personal note that my relationship, in addition to my ability to have this corporate relationship with the chamber, that I wanted to give back what the chamber has given me. And so I have been asked over the last 5 years to be chairman of their nominating committee and recently to be chairman of their governance committee so that I could give back to this relationship that has been so good to me. And I wanted to give my time, my expertise to Federico and the chamber and its board in helping them even with governance issues. So I'm very pleased to give this testimonial, and I'm very pleased of the relationship we've had and we've continued to have. And Glorin Consulting in its little company or little engine that would, right, as the story goes, actually became a sponsor for the gala event last year. And I wanted to show my commitment to the chamber for all the good that they've done for me and to all the members that I think they also work with. So I'm very pleased to say this, and I'm happy to be of any help to any member who wants to talk to me or meet with me. And thank you, Federico, of course, for all you've done and all the staff has done. And I'm happy to have given this testimonial.
Thank you. Thank you, Serge. And I don't know, I think, it would be nice to hear from you. So if there is anyone that wants to ask questions, and, we will be more than happy to answer your question. We want to keep this short, but also, we want to make sure that if there is any question, any curiosity on your side, we are able to address it. So any direct, I don't see anything on our chat. I believe this webinar, this town hall meeting, has been also recorded, so we are going to post it make it available on our YouTube video channel. So just in case you want to, you find a prospective member and you want to ask, and he or she ask you what we do. So it may be just a great resource to share, because I think, what was said today, it's really on point and depicts, pretty good picture and comprehensive and a picture of our organization. So Alice, I don't know. I don't see any.
So
Yeah.
there is one raised hand. So I'll
All right.
have Luann Mohana talk and ask her question.
Okay, so we have one comment from Carlo Mantiga. So thank you, Carlo. You're congratulating us for the great job we're doing. So thank you very much. We really appreciate your support. Carlo is also another of our members that is particularly involved in our activities. He's a senior sustaining member. So thank you, Carlo, for your support. Then I have David De Yoma here. Maybe talk a little bit about the business environment and the ease of challenge of doing business back in US and in Italy. Okay, so and I have another question. How do we get started with visa too? So okay, I'm gonna go first. The visa thing, it's the easiest one. So there's a person here in our organization that you can immediately get in touch with, and her email address is rodas, RODAS, @italchamber.org. But I will type the answer here in the chat, and she is the person, the point of contact for the J1 visa program. So she's pretty sure I'm pretty sure she will be able to help you. And I am the supervisor of the program, so I can always step in. Regarding the challenges, okay, so I don't know. I mean, it's like, based on my experience, I think, and this is also something that our president Alberto Milani always repeat when he's talking to our membership base or in other contexts. I think that clearly there are challenges, cultural challenges, business challenges for Italian companies doing business here and vice versa. But I believe that by tapping on our network or not your knowledge, your expertise, there is very little that there's a lot, I would say, that a company that is starting a business in US can accomplish just by tapping on your experience and using us as a connector to people that have that expertise, that have that experience. They've been through those challenges. So I think the chamber, as a collective body of experience and years of presence in this market with your own company, can be a tremendous resource to help whoever is starting in this business and vice versa. I don't know if there's any one of the panelists that would like to add something.
Yes, Federico. I would also add this, and I think Carl mentioned earlier that his relationship is so good with some of these companies that sometimes they approach him to open up a banking account, let's say in the United States. So I do that regularly for companies that want to come to the US. Not that I open up banking accounts, but I give them advice and strategic help on how they could do it. And, you know, sometimes a lot of companies that are in Italy and want to come to the US need both legal advice, financial advice, and tax or accounting advice. And you have a good list of members that could provide that. But my company does it, again, very selectively, depending on the client, that if they're looking at the US market for financial or banking reasons, or there's a governance issue they want to talk about before they come to the US, I can selectively be of help to them, depending on who is the company and who introduced them to me. So it is an issue that I think is pertinent. A lot of them need to come to the US and don't know the legal climate, the regulatory climate, the financial climate, and the, you know, the accounting climate as well. But I think, you know, the chamber has members that you also can recommend, and we can always help a lot of these companies that want to come to the US.
I think that what I would add to that is I've gone from the United States and opened in other countries, just like some of these firms are starting in Italy and then coming to the United States. So in my experience, you need to rely so much on the chamber to be able to shorten the time. Trying to do this on your own is quite difficult to figure out how to operate in another country. The membership base here, because it's spread across so many different disciplines, you can solve a lot of the problems for other members when they come. And it could be anything from office space, the accounts, to moving. You know, I'm a computer company, so just getting them hands to buy laptops and deliver them. I mean, we have some of those could be set up by someone inside of Europe or in Italy, and then, but we requisition it, purchase it, deliver it to the person at their home. You know, that last mile of items is the type of care and service that they want or need. Back to you, Federico.
I think we answer all the questions that were on the.
We just have a quick reflection from Ronald. I don't know, from Ron Palladino from JP Morgan, if you want to read it.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, Ron Palladino is one of also, you know, a great member, and I just read his comment. I echo the comments of the speakers provided. I've been involved at the chamber for many years. My role as a business development at JP Morgan Chase. My role is to be close to the Italian American community and to meet Italian companies that are entering the US market. The chamber has been an excellent way to meet new clients and connect with current clients. We are members of other chambers, and I can certainly say that the Italy American Chamber of Commerce does the best job at this. Thank you to the staff and to the chamber. Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you for your kind words. We are glad to have you as a part of our members and membership, and also, you know, to support you and to work with you as close as possible. Thank you. Any other question?
No, Federico, I think not on my end, unless you have questions from the members, but I think also, you know, Ron is you know, one of the top banks in the world, having, you know, being with JP Morgan, and I know him personally for many years. So I think sometimes some of the members, you know, might have issues that are difficult issues that involve financing issues or financial planning issues or financing issues or banking relations issues. And those are things that I often selectively do and intervene with some of these companies when they're in the US, because getting financing or having the right relationship bank is critical. So I help in that process as well. But I think, you know, you've done a great job overall. And I think also the chamber, I can say, over the last few years has really made big improvements, you know, with, you know, amending the bylaws, modifying the bylaws, improving the bylaws, and, you know, doing a lot of other things to get the company in a you know, level of stature and governance that I think is important as a non-for-profit here in the US. So that's a tribute, you know, to you and the staff, and of course your president and your board. So, you know, I think you've made a lot of great changes and, you know, evolved over the years in a very positive way. And I'm happy to have given my support in that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all. I think we can probably close this session. Thank you to all our guests here that are participating. Thank you to Carl, Eugenio, and Serge for your support and taking some of your time. And let's stay in touch.
Great.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you all at some point.
Bye.
So.